The Endministrator is the leader of Endfield Industries, creator of the AAC, and currently have lost their memories, who is able to wield and deploy Originium in combat, among other things, to how they want. But who are they? Where did they come from? What is their true past? So, let's start with where they come from. From what we know, Endministrator has always been a part of Talos 2's history, and we don't know if they have been on Terra or not, so we can't say for sure where they I guess actually come from, if that makes sense. But what we can do is take some hints, the story around, let's say, the end of chapter 1, when a Neferith calls us Child of Originium. What could this mean? Well, we know we can wield Originium. We also know that every time we need to go into hibernation, we do so in a suspiciously Originium-looking crystal, possibly called the Simulated Universe, which we will kind of get back to later. So, if we put these together, we can assume Priestess from OG Arknights, a creator for Originium along Oracle, Doctor, Creator, Endministrator. Now, some of you might wonder who this Priestess and the Oracle Doctor is, but let's ignore Doctor right now and focus on the Priestess, since it's her people are more theorizing created Endmin. As mentioned earlier, she's the co-creator of Originium, also extremely possibly the current main antagonist in OG Arknights. While we don't know if Doctor can, could or will be able to wield Originium, we have seen Priestess at least control it. And what I mean by controlling it is, she basically sped up orthopathy. At least that's what I think we saw she do. She also goes into slumber and preserves her consciousness in the simulated universe, a part of Originium, which we can assume Endministrator also does, or is able to do at least. And right now on Terra, in OG Arknights time, Priestess is correcting the path the Originium project was supposed to take. Now that we know who supposedly created Endmin and how they supposedly were born or created, who are they actually? So Originium assimilates organic and living organisms and basically assimilates the information itself. We can be relatively certain they are made of Originium, or at least created from it. There are a few hints of that too, when Endmin uses their power too much, if that makes sense. It is possible Endmin is Doctor, maybe even Priestess, which would be a bit weird, since pretty certain Hyperglyph did say there would not be that strong of a connection to OG Arknight. I can't confirm that though, so I'm not sure, might be wrong about that. But my thought then is that there might be some kind of combination between the two, if that makes sense. To create Endmin, basically how a child is normally made, except not at the same time, I guess. This is something I don't think we know, and I'm not sure we will know. Probably sometime in the future, long future perhaps. So this is mostly pure speculation, but one thing I think we can be certain of is that there is a very high likelihood Endmin is a predecessor, the same as Priestess and Doctor, which is also probably a reason Endmin probably has go back to sleep and hibernate. Now, does that mean Endmin and Endfield Industries are evil, since they are kind of created by Priestess probably? Not necessarily, as we know Rhodes Island and its partners founded Endfield around 150 years ago, and it seems Endministrator existed even back then. And for something kinda related, the UWST, United Workers Syndicates of Talos 2, are working on simulated catastrophes. And they have gotten a simulated catastrophe test entity provided by Rhodes Island. So this could only mean Rhodes Island was on board with this, which does not really sound right knowing what we know about Rhodes Island. I'm not sure if we also know why we are trying to simulate catastrophes, knowing what they do. But I kind of hope we get to know more about that, except if we already do know about that. This do, however, not exactly answer the question about if we are evil or not, as there are questionable things happening, or at least we are doing, and with what Neferif are saying to us, or talking about to us. But at the same time, we are helping people and refugees, so maybe we are the good guys.
You gave everything to ensure the survival of life. With all retreat cut off, you placed your hope in the Zeroth Directive. Go forth and touch it. You have one last chance. Reclaim the history that was yours. Remember your calling. This is the only gift you left for yourself. There were 128,793 Terrans on Talos 2 at your birth. A single gate bridged two worlds. We crossed the vast cosmos and arrived at this foreign home. However, all our dreams and plans fell into ruin with that same gate. Behind us, the broken bridge crumbled. Every famine and mass casualty risked dooming our civilization. The First Angloid War saw this world spawn countless war machines, steeped in malice. You led the fledgling alliance and banished the threat into the ether side. Pioneering bases lost, Originium and you ravaged. Victory's toll was heavy. Then the Humiliation War reignited fratricide, nearly pushing Terrans to the edge of full-scale civil war. The seed you sowed bloomed in time. At the cliff's edge, people paused and pledged the Band Accord. Decades later, we ushered in an age of prosperity. Cities rose in the south. The civilization band grew rapidly. Time and time again, you rose from your slumber to guide civilization, leading us away from the broken bridge. However, as the enemy licked its wounds, we scrounged for resources and survival, neglecting our original vision. Originium's wounds never truly healed. The decay spread. With every slumber, you lost more. In year 139, as the exiles returned, the Second Angloid War stood at our doorstep. We were forced to initiate an ill-prepared expedition. Your sacrifice exceeded the worst thresholds. The Originium is still collapsing. We never truly left that broken bridge. Execute the Zeroth Directive. Deploy the PAC. Revive the Pulse of Life. Treasure your very last chance.
So, knowing the administrators seem to have existed since we came into Talos 2, and created Endfield Industries, and have always been the leader of Endfield, what is even our relationship with Nephrith and Asteii? Since every time Nephrith appears, she talks to us like we knew her before.
Your memories may be gone, but look at you. Still striving so hard to be a leader, a savior, and a tyrant.
Which is one of the more interesting things looking at how Endfield Industries were created by Rhodes Island. One explanation could be that we have gone off course, which there is little to no way to actually confirm from what I know. Then we got Asteii, with him being a lot more friendly with us, and asking us if we approve of what we are doing, which right now we obviously do. Then saying,
We have no cause to kill each other. After all, you are so
what I assume he would say is Savior, or maybe Lord, like Nephrith meant before. Then he continues with,
Kyle. It seems we're still chained by hatred.
which makes things very interesting. Since we understand by now, it seems we knew them before, and something possibly happened. And by the looks of it, both Nephrith and Asteii are Sarkas, or at least some kind of Sarkas. So it could be something originating from OG Ark, where they were hated here too. There could also be something else, like we betrayed them in some way, they betrayed us. Can't say for certain. That's which is one of the biggest questions right now, I think. At least for me. Like what happened between Endministrator and the Landbreakers, or Nephrith and Asteii. There is more questions we have, obviously, like how many more people did we know, other than the people we have met that know us? Why do they trust us so much? Are there more people like Nephrith and Asteii that knew us and I guess something happened? With that, we just have to wait and see. Either way, I hope you enjoyed this and it was helpful in some way.